those are the moments that are more powerful when your truth is broken, not when mistakes are made. We're going to have a little fun if you don't mind. And if this doesn't work out, we can do another video.
We are talking to a creative person. Things need to be creative.
Okay. Artist, I know everything. See, here's my truth. Here's my answer. Look at it. 2, wow, an artist is provoking, is questioning, is inquiring, is using his intellect and his emotional state to understand something deeper, to go into a journey, to imagine a better self. So I think without creativity, humanity would have died because we can never imagine what we can become. So in these times, in COVID times, I think it's really important for people to remember that it's our creativity that allowed us to surpass the craziest limitations, you know? And science fiction has always inspired science. And art has always inspired philosophy, and philosophy has always inspired art. So, you know, I come from a very academic IIT, IIM, Harvard, Stanford. Like, we have every single decal in our classic ambassador car. Right. And my father really believed that while he was looking at our textbooks, he was really annoyed with the quality of our education. He said, it looks like we're just teaching our children how to be cogs in a machine for the industrial age. We're not teaching our children how to be thinkers, learn how to learn, create their own reality, believe in themselves, critique themselves, like all the vital skills of even citizenship. How do you even deal with someone different from you? How do you ideologically differ and still get along? Like, nobody knows that. They don't grow up with that. Yeah. So how do you participate in a democracy? All of these things my dad felt we were missing. So one day I came from school and I said, Pa, you know, I decided I'm going to be a good citizen. I'm going to learn how to learn. I'm going to be financially independent. I don't want you to support me anymore.
What? I'm going just to like randomly you just came home and said this?
Yeah. This is with my brother's conversation. We had planned this whole thing out. Because we knew my father hated the Industrial Revolution education system. So my brother and I would talk about it, and then we came up with this idea. And I went to him and I said, Pa, I'm going to do all of this. I was 17.
Okay.
I think 16, 17 it was. And then he said, Raghava, I'm really touched. Come, give me a hug. And I was like, wait, hold that thought. Do I have to go to school if I'm doing all of this? Because this is the purpose of education, right? And he was like, I used his own philosophy against him, quit formal education to pursue a real understanding, a spiritual understanding that was a model in his head. But for me, it had become my own way of looking at education. So I quit school using his philosophy, took a 1-year sabbatical, which still continues, I don't know how many decades later.
Yes.
But yeah, that is the story. Most people ask me about failures. I talk a lot about my failures. My TED Talks are about my failures, essentially, and how they taught me and helped me grow. But one of the things I learned recently, and since you talked about personal, I went through a divorce. After, I was known in all my TED Talks to be a person for whom love is at the center of their existence.
Right.
And then when I broke up with Netra, it was like a priest, high priest, who discovered that God was a cheat. To believe in unconditional love and almost not believe that your highest success, your greatest belief in yourself, your identity is destroyed.
Right.
And I think those are the moments that are more powerful when your truth is broken, not when mistakes are made. You know, funnily, my worst nightmare has come alive, which is the thought that I'm alone, the fear of being alone. So I always, throughout my late teens, early 20s, I thought of myself as a family person. I wanted to be a part of a family, come home to this beautiful family, have them jump on me, hug. That was the ideal that was love for me.
Right.
And so I built that for myself. I found someone who was equally excited by the idea. So we built a life together. At some point, one of us figured this is not the only way to look at life. There are journeys outside of this reality. And it has nothing to do whether I like it or dislike it. It is my spirit wants to know what it means to be someone different.
Right.
And it's those moments when you fundamentally die and you're born again. Those are the moments that challenge you the most. So most people face when something they believe in fails, you hit something called a nihilistic perspective of life. You don't believe in anything. You're like, everything is corrupt. There is no order. There's no meaning in the world. You reach this dark space of nihilism. And it occupies you mentally, and in your work, in your enthusiasm. So for those people, I say, even if you have nothing to believe in, there are these moments that make you feel fully alive. Perhaps it's not our conscious brain that can make us feel whole. It is this full feeling of feeling alive, feeling involved. The one thing we have learned out of experience in the last 2 years of trying to do 20 projects, achieving 7 projects, but killing it on all 7, killing it. Right. And one thing we've learned is do not predict the future. Fully present here. Have an intention for the future. Do not plan it. Do sprints, plan milestones. Don't plan long term, because you're going to become a victim of your ideal vision of love, of success, of growth, of meaning. Everything is, you're being lazy not to define it again and again at every moment. And don't let laziness make you make decisions that we humans are capable of, both emotional and rational. Take the next step. Take the next bold, beautiful step. Whether it's a big stroke or a small stroke, but take it definitely, and take it with the energy that it needs, because it's going to record the energy, not just the stroke. So that's why I encourage CEOs to actually go through a serious art appreciation, art criticism class, or even paint seriously, because you don't realize the barriers that stop you from letting go and discovering who you can. The number one person who I have to thank is my brother Karthik. Because of all the people I met in the world, there were 2 things that he had that no one had both, only he had both. One was belief in me as a spirit, as a personality, as a person. And the second was the belief in the power of art. And when you had both, and then he saw it in me, and what he did not realize is he had the power to see it in people and pull it out. And it has taken both of us 20 years of being professional in our own spaces to finally see how we bring out the best in each other from opposite directions.
Wow.
And I think there's nobody right now who's contributed so much to my life. He's the one who made me a cartoonist. He's the one who helped me negotiate with my parents and quit school. He's the one who told me, you have a personality, a spirit for authenticity, go live it fully. I support you, I'm with you. So that's all my brother Karthik. And the funny thing is, we are opposite, and yet so similar in our belief.